Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone and greetings. Today we are from group 10 and we are going to present on our creative project. So this group consists of three of us, me myself, Nur Zarina binti Muhammad, Zarina binti Hashim and Nur Akila binti Ismail. So our topic is listen up, the robot is talking. So the use of TikTok videos as an aid to active participation in listening and speaking activities for Form 3 pupils. So this is our problem statement where listening and speaking are parts of the four skills in the English language, with often not being emphasized until the introduction of CFR in the new curriculum for English. All the four skills are being assessed separately. It is undeniable that these two skills are left behind, especially for the lower forms. There was no proper test being done to assess students for these skills. Having said that, most students, especially the lower form students, are having problems in answering the questions during the listening and speaking exam. Among the major problems faced by the learners in the process of listening and speaking activities are the accent of the speakers from the audio, the quality of the recorded audio, and the length of the audio. This study provides the alternative, improve the listening and speaking problems by using TikTok videos where authentic audios were recorded and the audio is turned in the form of TikTok videos, thus the acceptable length to cater for the lower form students. Instead of merely listening to the audio, learners have the opportunity to watch and listen to the audio at the same time. What is the intervention or innovation that we employ in our own classroom to tackle or reduce the problem is the use of TikTok videos as audios for listening practices using authentic audios. So I will describe our intervention or innovation. So teachers record the listening scripts and upload them to TikTok application in the form of videos. Teachers use the TikTok videos instead of audios alone as listening audios in class. The idea is to get the students' interest to the listening activities by watching and listening to the audios simultaneously. Now I will explain about the procedures. First one is teachers and students record the audios and videos before other activities begin. The videos were uploaded in TikTok application and will be shared with the students during the intervention. And number 3, most activities were shared with the students in the form of QR codes, reduce paper distribution, and practice social distancing among students and teachers. So this is the theory that we use here. The Unified Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology UTAUT is a model of individual acceptance that complied from 8 models and theories. Alright, so the Technology Acceptance Model, TAM, has been used in research to explore the acceptance of new e-technology or new e-services. It is one of the most effective contribution of theory of reason action. That means something that we do because of the reason behind it and how it can actually motivate what we want to happen next in our future plans. TAM is also the most influential models of technology acceptance, with 2 primary factors influencing an individual's intention to use new technology: perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. So that is one of the reasons why we choose to do these innovations, because we want our students to feel more interested in whatever we want to give them and for them to actually focus more. Alright, I'll pass up to my friend.
Okay, the data from this research were derived solely from the comparison of pre-test and post-test data. The data collection is done quantitatively instead of qualitative because the aim of this research is to examine the impact of using TikTok videos to aid in the listening test. The use of TikTok videos was the independent variable of the research. Meanwhile, the final score on activity 3 was the dependent variable. This score, which signifies the impact of using TikTok videos, was used as the yardstick to prove the impact of it towards the Form 3 pupils' listening test. The only instrument used for this research was the listening test, which was given before and after the intervention. Okay, now let us take a look at the research procedure. The researchers started by asking the pupils to do activity 3, where they have to listen and tick true or false in a worksheet given by the teacher. The questions were taken from the Form 3 textbook. Close up. This activity was chosen to test the pupils' ability to listen and answer all the questions correctly. The audio used was the original audio provided by the Curriculum Development Center or CDC. Besides, the idea of choosing this activity is the researcher also believed that carrying out a listening activity with more than 5 questions is not appropriate to retain the students' attention. Hence, selecting only 5 questions is appropriate to accommodate to the research aim, which is to investigate the impact of using TikTok videos to aid in the listening test. Next, pupils were asked to answer the pre-test question, which comprised of 5 true-false questions before they begin their lesson on that day. Teacher starts the lesson by showing a video of a robot playing a basketball and students share their opinion. Then they were asked to watch TikTok videos talking about robots. The students were then introduced to the words that related to technology by playing Kahoot and also quizzes. Still under the research procedure, immediately after the quizzes, pupils were asked to do the same activity they did before the start of the lesson as their post-test, which is done in Google Form. But this time, the researcher used the audio in the form of TikTok videos to accompany with the listening test. In addition, the researchers had also recorded their own voice and turned it into 5 videos and uploaded them to TikTok to aid the students in their listening test. Now, instead of merely listening to the audio of a native speaker or others, the students got to listen to authentic voices in the form of TikTok videos. Okay, for the data analysis, the process began with the researcher marking all of the script by the participants. Once the marking process was completed, the researcher viewed the result of the marks in 2 ways. The first one is by listing out the marks scored by each participant in pre-test and post-test. These marks were then translated into percentages. In order to verify any improvements made from both tests, the percentage from the post-test were deducted with the one from the pre-test. Then, the document analysis was continued by scanning through any items from the quiz that had shown remarkable differences in both pre and post-test. This is the pre-lesson activity that we did with the students called Kahoot. There are 13 objective questions that relate to technology. The aim is to get the students to familiarize themselves with the words before the while lesson activities. Okay, this is the results from the Kahoot just now. So based on the result, 33% of the students managed to answer all the questions correctly. Then we did the quiz. This is the second quiz. It is in the form of quizzes. For this activity, the students were asked to tick the one that do not belong to the category. So this is the result from the quizzes just now. So most of the students, which is 71%, have scored full mark for this activity. This is Starsheet 1 or activity 3. This is the activity where the intervention was carried out to check on the students' performance. It was carried out in Google Form, and students were also given a QR code to access the questions, as each student has their own tablet. They can actually scan the QR code to answer the question. So there are 5 true-false questions for them to answer. Okay, this is the result from the activity that we did just now. So from the above tables, as we can see, on the left is the pre-test result and on the right is the post-test result. Okay, this is the pre-test and post-test result. As you can see, on the right, below the chart is the number of students, and on the left, the y-axis is the number of questions. So from the chart, we can see that most of the students have managed to answer all the questions correctly from the true-false question out of 5, compared to the pre-test result. Okay, this is an Excel comparison of results in pre-test and post-test. As previously stated in the methodology section, there were 5 true-false questions. This analysis was done by transferring all of the scores for both tests into a table form using Microsoft Excel. Percentage was counted for both pre-test and post-test. Since the intention of this study is to explore the impact of using TikTok videos, the researcher needed to see an improvement in post-test score in comparison to the pre-test scores. Therefore, the percentage from the post-test was minus with the pre-test percentage. From this data, it shows that all of the participants showed an improvement in terms of their quiz score before and after the use of TikTok videos. Some of the participants had even showed a tremendous improvement by scoring 40% improvement score. This was evident from those who scored from 3 out of 5 in pre-test to 5 out of 5 questions during the post-test. With regards to the percentage, we could also see from the excerpt that most participants showed an improvement of 20% from the initial pre-test. This could be perceived as a very low improvement percentage indeed. However, it is fair to conclude that this only happened because most participants had already carried out the activity in the class before the intervention. Okay, here this is the last activity that we did with the students. It is actually an enrichment activity for the pupils. So there are 6 questions and pupils need to choose the correct answer in the Google form. Again, they can always scan the QR code to answer the question. For this activity, we use the normal audio taken from the textbook. Okay, this is the result from the quiz that we did from the last activity. So based on the result, you can see that 71% of the students have managed to answer all the questions correct. So I think that is all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Nurul Akila. I will continue with our last step, which is 2 stars and a wish. The last step was where we conducted 2 stars and a wish, where we gave a card to all the pupils who involved in this activity. They are required to write 2 benefits or good things that they gained during the session and 1 wish or what they want to suggest or let us know to improve the session, or even what they wish to get in future. Here are some examples from the kids. This kid, Muhammad Haziq Iman, mentioned that he got extra info about the robot and could understand the advantages and disadvantages of the robots. Next, he mentioned about the listening activities that might help him to focus more, because sometimes people will miss some information if they are not listening to the information correctly. Lastly, his wish was hopefully he can use all the information that he learned to become more creative. Next, this student, Hakim bin Muhammad Azam, stated that he realized that robots will give big impacts in our daily life. He also admit by joining this activity, he could improve his confidence level in speaking in front of people. Last one, he wished that robots will be more eco-friendly in our life to help us in doing chores, because we asked them their opinion about what did they learn in this activity and what did they think about the robot in the future, what robot can help us in the future. So they come up with this kind of ideas. One more example that we took from 2 stars and a wish from this student. He stated that he learned how to do listening tests with easier method, where we provided them with our recording, and by putting in the application. We use the TikTok application, because if they just look at activities in their books, there is no audio, so we insert our voice, we record it, so they can listen to the recording clearly. And then next one, he stated that he learned that robot will change our world in the future by doing things with a lot of specific methods, where like human created robot to help us in the future, and he hoped that one day he can make robots and contribute to the world to make our life easier. One more positive feedback that we got from this activity is from this student, Shafiq Iqbal, where he mentioned that he learned that even robots, which are humans' greatest achievement and innovations, have their own disadvantages too, because we tend to know that robots always perfect in doing their job. So by learning this topic, he know more about robots. And next one, he said that he has improved his speech and speaking skills after joining this program, because we encourage them to talk in front of their friends, to give their opinion, to speak in front of people. So his wish is in future humans will find ways to create the most flawless robots that could help us in doing activities, in doing our work. This type of program is very interesting, and I hope I could join this type of program again. He said that because he thinks that by joining this program, it will open his mind by thinking outside of the box about our future. Next one, I will continue with the strengths and the limitations. First, we go through with the strengths from this activity. First, students have become more independent in deriving how they want to learn, as they are provided with one tablet each, because we went to this school where they have their own tablet and they can access the platform easily since they have their own devices, so it's very useful for them. And then students learn new methods and strategies in listening and speaking, where maybe because we asked them, some of the classes did not conducted this lesson like the way that we conducted, so they think this so we think that they learn new methods and strategies in listening and speaking from this activity. The third one, students get some ideas on how to do listening and speaking tests. This one could help them in answering their PT3 soon. And next one, number 4, students look forward to having similar more improved program like this, because they said that normally they didn't really spend their time in exploring the topics in their textbook. So by doing or by joining this kind of program, so they learn more and they learn deeper about this topic. And then number 5, students are more confident to speak in front of their friends. Like I mentioned just now, some of the students stated that they can improve their speaking skills and also listening skills. And then students learned some knowledge about robots because we took this topic from their textbook. So this topic is about the robots, so they learn some knowledge that we provided for them. Last one, students are aware of the tasks of robots in future and whether we need humans or not in the future, so they can think outside of the box and they can think whether what humans can contribute in our future. Next, we will continue with the limitations. There are some limitations while conducting this activity. We conducted this activity before CMCO, so most of the school didn't allow outside teachers to come to the school to organize the activity. So we are lucky enough to get this school to conduct the activity. So there are only selected students who were involved in our activity, which is only 24 students. So they had to follow the SOP. Movements were restricted for groups activity, so we only provided individual activity where they can access by their own devices. And last one is time limitation to assess students' improvements. So it's like because we only took a day, it only took a day to finish this activity, so we don't really get we don't really get overall of the students' knowledge. We just get whatever we can get at that time. The last one is the implications. So what are the implications from this activity? First, we found out that students have better ideas on how to answer the listening and speaking test, because before started the activity, we did ask them about their opinion regarding the topic. So some of them tend to be very shy and they don't really want to share their opinion. So after having this kind of activity, I saw that they improve a lot. So next one, listening and speaking test will be one of the students' favorite lessons during English class, because they know the skills, they know what to do in the class, so they can speak in front of the people. Next one, those students involved can share the knowledge learned to other friends in school, because they learn a lot about this topic, for example about robots, so they can share information about robots with their friends. And next one, the school oral English test result will improve. This one will help the school as well, and also helps the student to improve in their tests. Next one, students will be more confident to speak English in front of the people, so it will help them to be more independent and they can be more confident to speak by using a foreign language. Next one, the English lessons will be more interesting, because if like teachers providing them with attracting will attract their attention by providing them with the attractive information about this topic, so they will feel that this lesson is very interesting. And next one, the English teachers will be more creative. Like us teacher, we will try hard, try our best to make sure that our students can attract to our lesson, to make sure that they can improve themselves as well. Last one, more students will join English language competition in future. We know that sometimes students are not confident enough to join the English competitions. So that's all from our group. Thank you.
Okay, just because it's very different with our time, right? Because nowadays all of us got your own phone, right? During our time, maybe we own our phone maybe around when we are going to turn back and everything. And the same meaning for this word, we can also say it as a modern things that we use in our
use smartphone in a wrong way to watch horrible videos such as I understand. So the thing can make students
Okay, next step now.
This make robots to help people to make our task. For example, robots can help us for clean our toilet, cleaning the dish. Yes. For that reason, scientists make robots to help humans with daily tasks. Yes.
Okay. Any other ideas you want to add on to that? Do you think that is all what the scientists make robots for? Just to do human tasks? Yes. Anybody else want to add on? Yes.
I think scientists make robots because they want to study and invent new technology for the future of our country.
Furthermore, I think that the scientists want to make robots that have modern technology to replace human in some kinds of sector that might be dangerous to human. As example, like 3D sector, that is dirty, dangerous and demeaning work for difficult work for human.
Yes, very good.
So other than that, I think scientists make the robot so that their country can develop more rapidly and help their country grow faster.
besides that, scientists make robots to achieve incredible feat that is possible for humans to achieve, such as space exploration.
Very good. Okay, all good point. Okay, any other point that is not being presented by your friend that you want to add on, you want to share? Very good ideas for us, okay? Because we all have set ideas. Spontaneously you have it, okay, and you know what is happening now in our country, right? Okay, like it or not, robots is here to stay. They are here to stay, but in what form, we are not sure, okay? But we as humans, we need humans to operate
I learned a lot about high-tech engineering and engineering by the visit, and it is very helpful. And second, I get to answer all the quiz correctly, but time is too long, but so I don't get the credit.
Okay.
So I hope I can join this session again, so I can learn more